Are you there? Is anyone here?
Yeah. Here we
Why
go.
can't I edit the chat?
I can see the chat. The chat's starting now.
Okay. All right. Oops, let me put this thing because my phone was almost dead a little while ago. Hey.
Hey guys.
Okay, live chats. It's not letting me edit that. Okay, well, it'll be okay. Just know it. Crazy people are gonna be on here because I couldn't private
Hey
it.
guys. That's gonna be fun.
Girl, it
But
is
I
what
like
it is.
them, so that's okay.
The trolls, I guess, help the algorithm. Okay.
Yeah, and they're fun. I like
Bro, do
them.
you see how my skin looks after using that thing?
Yeah, I need to get myself one because your skin
I
looks
love
flawless.
it. I love it. Like I don't know. I I'm so excited about it. Yes, y'all. I told you this is all a setup. So what's Ivory, isn't it funny? Because all last week we was like, ooh, something's getting ready to happen.
Man, I said it in
Something.
my lives. I said it to everybody. I was like, y'all, Christy's hopping into lives, pushing these nonsense stories, about to go down, and lo and behold, the entire thing went down. I just want to put out there that
Hold on one
y'all,
second. I'll tell you guys. I started using, let me actually get it so I can show you guys. Oh shoot, I almost fell because I didn't even get this water up when I got out the shower a little while ago. All
is
right. Okay, y'all. I started.
I need that in my life.
So this is blue and it gets really, really cold. So it helps with like your pores, your lymphatic drainage. It helps to kind of lift and sculpt your face. Um, it helps with blue light therapy kills all PI bacteria underneath the skin. Amazing. But wait, it gets better. Red light therapy. So this helps with hyperpigmentation, like dark spots, lifting, firming, sculpting, all of that. So I put my
So it's a facial
skincare on
magic
it,
wand. Just say
and
it.
literally I put my skincare on it, and I just massage it. It's like one of the best things I've ever used. And the brand actually sent me this. And the first time I used it, I liked it, but I didn't like realize all of what it does. And I did a video about it, but I didn't really realize all of what it did. And then when I was basically spinning a block and picking it back up, I was like, "Oh my god." I was talking to Ivory this morning and I was like, "Girl, I love this thing." Like I've had this thing sitting in here for like 2.5 weeks and maybe used this once. And I'm so in love with it. And this also helps to like it's really soft. So what it does is it like gets into like the pores and gets everything out of your skin. It's so amazing. So when
Nina's
you
gonna make me
it
broke. Can I just
vibrates.
tell you all that?
Look, wait, it vibrates. So it cleans your face while it vibrates. It's it's amazing.
Okay, let's
This
keep the
is
vibrating to a
amazing.
low, though. Let's keep that to a
Oh,
minimum.
sorry, Gypsy might want to get
Kind of
it.
looks like a toothbrush.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's very
But
gentle. Like look how soft it is. It's very gentle.
just like a toothbrush head,
And it's waterproof so you don't have to worry about like, it falling into anything. It's totally waterproof.
like a toothbrush,
Mhm. Thank
just bigger,
you.
for the more experienced. But yes, as I was
Yes.
saying, I see it in the
It's
chat that
not
yes.
like the Clarisonic only because the Clarisonic brushes were known to, like, tear up the skin and cause, like, abrasions. When they first came out, everybody thought it was really good, but I knew that the bristles were too strong and they would cause many tears on your skin, and that's why it wasn't good, but this is not like that at all. You see? It's like silicone.
Finally, something Gypsy can do content on and sell on TikTok Shop. Think she'd be good at
Literally,
it.
she should be like, "You could use this like the brush."
I need you to hop on that, no pun intended.
Yes, they hurt. They they did, and then you remember Clinique tried to come out with that too. Yeah, this is Rika. I actually have it on my IG page, Flawless Nina 1. It's the last video. There's a link on it, and there's also one on my TikTok too. I think on TikTok it's on sale for like cheaper than what it
So
was. I
I'm
think it
liking
was
this
originally like
conversation.
129 and then it was like 68 bucks. Um, but even just for like the red light and the blue light therapy, I promise you that part is the golden part because to use red light therapy and this cools down all the way, like it
Or
gets
it's the
cold
girth.
and it's hot. The thing
Sorry.
about it being cool is it's gonna get do lymphatic drainage. So you'll also notice like where you're retaining any water, it's gonna like drain that. So it's all I could say is I on TikTok Shop I seen it like for 60 bucks now or $65 or something where it was originally
I
129. It's
don't
on
know. I'm
sale right
impressed
now.
at Nina's ability to keep a straight face when I make my
But
comments.
but look how my skin is glowing. Like this happened because
Makes
of
me feel like my funny's
this.
not funny and I gotta work on it.
It's like it's literally glowing. Like, look how like yes. Look at that. The light is reflecting off my skin.
I don't think Gypsy's worried about the light. I think she knows exactly where to put it.
I use the blue first, and then the red. I like to put on my skincare with cool stuff. So what I used to use was like one of those rollers, and I have a medical grade roller that I like a medical like it's medical steel, like stainless steel, um, that I used to use, but I'm not gonna use that anymore. I'm gonna use this because this gets cold just like that. And feel like this will do a whole lot better because the fact that blue light therapy helps kill all the PI bacteria underneath your skin, it will stop like any type of breakouts or anything like that. So I love it for that. But I'm telling you, it's a gem. I have it on my IG page, like my last post, I posted it. Yes, I'm telling you to glow. Ivory, wasn't I screaming that on the phone to you? I was like,
Yeah,
"Bitch,
she
I'm
was.
glowing! Like I'm glowing!" Like I was like, "I don't know what to do with myself. My skin is glowing."
Yeah, she was, and
But
then I had to go and buy one.
oh no, so I'd used the Medicube, the slug mask, but I haven't used anything else of Medicube. The one where you put it over your skincare and it's like it dries down so that your skincare doesn't get onto your pillow or anything like that, but I didn't put it on tonight because I took a
What is it?
shower. I normally
The
it's like
later
it's
you go
called
on live, the
slugging.
freak convene in your
Oh
chat?
yeah. Oh yeah. Um I normally put it on like right before I'm going to bed because it my skincare won't get on my pillow or anything like that. But I don't I haven't tried that many Medicube stuff other than that mask. I've heard good things from very credible people about Medicube. I've been using lately the Murad, serum. That is a gem. One of my friends, recommended it to her. She said that her skin was acting up, and she was like, "I don't have acne. I don't think it'll be good." I was like, "Girl, just try it." And she sent me a message. I actually posted it on TikTok where she was like, "Oh my gosh, girl, I never thought this was gonna work." I was like, "Look, I will never tell you a lie. If I tell you something that's good, you can count on that." And she was like, "It is really good. It's one of the best serums I've ever used, and even, like, if that time of the month and you normally get breakouts, like, it totally stops that. And for me, that's been a gem because I normally break out during that, like, right before, and I haven't been having that problem. Hey, Haiti Joy. So, yeah, but this is I'm telling you, I was screaming on the phone to Ivory. I was like, "I love this thing." Hey,
She wasn't
Apple
lying.
Shirley. I was like, I know, I was like, Ivory, I know you think I'm ridiculous, but I'm so excited about this. Uh,
She was.
you
I've been
know
hearing about
what?
it all day. I'm glad y'all have to hear about it now.
I'm gonna tell you a little gem for hyperpigmentation, and I don't have a link to this because I don't feel like there's maybe my Amazon storefront. But it's called Fair White from it's made in somewhere in Europe, I think like France. You can't you once you get rid of the hyperpigmentation, I wouldn't consistently use it. Just because it kind of like strips off of the skin of the hyperpigmentation. And if you use it consistently, it happens pretty fast. So you don't want to use it like after you get rid of the hyperpigmentation, it's not something you'd keep up. And it's called Fair White. You know what? Recipe is not bad, but the problem is that they have a lot of additives in them that kind of dilute the product.
Did someone ask if Brie uses frozen semen? All right, y'all.
Y'all play
What?
too much.
That's funny.
Oh yeah, Fair White. The serum, the gel, and there is a spot corrector that comes in like a little tube, like with it's like a white, like little white bottle. A little bit goes a long way. That's a gem. It'll literally clear up spots. I have one right here. I don't know if you noticed, it's very faint now because I had been using it like every day for like a month. I was picking right here and it just you could still see it. It's a little dark, but it's gone now. Damn near. But okay, so go ahead, Ivory, because I've been holding it up
Wait,
to
what was I
the
saying
mic.
now? So yeah, Christy was hopping up in the lives, y'all. And once you start seeing them,
Thank
I've
you.
said it so many times that when you see Christy and them hopping up into lives, pushing out a narrative, something's about to go down. I said it in my lives. I said it to everybody. I was warning everybody. And lo and behold, this whole weekend happened. But I called it.
Mhm.
That's why I backed up. Wasn't about to go there. Ain't trying to get into any nonsense. And yet still I get dragged into some nonsense, which is wild. However, you know that once they start hopping to live, something's about to go down. And I'm gonna bring it back to Cajun Navy Jen for a second with what Nina was saying. Yes, think about it. She's always in here collecting money. She did the whole, justice for Nick thing. That didn't pan out too well. When did she come on the scene, y'all? Do you guys remember? When Born on the Bayou came on the scene. She came on the scene when Rod was in my live. She just happened to be there. It was just really wild how it happened that way. Okay? Let me also put this out there. Yes, I've heard people calling me a flip flopper. Y'all, let me tell you something. There's nobody that goes harder at Gypsy Rose than me. I am definitely one of them. A flip flopper? No, I don't agree. I'll stand on what I agree and don't agree with. I will stand on what I say 10 toes down. People would rather me be honest than tell you what y'all want to hear and feed your crap. That's number one. Number two, tell me how you're going to sit there and do this whole billboard thing and say it's because Didi needs justice and these people need to be called out. Yet Bree and Gypsy, Bree was on her live just a couple of weeks ago and she was talking so sweet about Gypsy and, oh, but the poor girl
Oh
this
wait,
and the
y'all
poor
can't
girl
see
that.
me.
And Bree, you're such a great person. But yet I'm the flip flopper. Y'all make it make sense.
Why am I frozen?
I can't see you.
Why is it not letting me turn the camera back on? Wait, can you see me now?
No, I can't see you.
Why is it black? What is happening? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah. I just can't see you.
Okay.
No, I was called the flip-flopper because I didn't agree with how the whole billboard thing went down, and I didn't it's not that I didn't agree with it. I get putting information out there. I just didn't agree with certain aspects of it. I didn't agree with the fact that it seemed like it was inciting violence when real people were there. You had Tammy there down there by herself, and you had her putting up posters and you know what I mean? And I get she did it of her own free will. However, I just I just felt like that was a dangerous situation for people, and I'm just not about that. You know what I mean? So, does that make me a flip-flopper? No, it really doesn't, because there is nobody that goes harder for the truth than me. That's number 1. Number 2, if people want me to lie to them because it goes with a narrative, they just want to hear it, you're not going to get that from me. I will only tell you guys, you ask me a question, I will answer it honestly, even if I think some of y'all might not like it. Honesty is all I can offer anybody. You know what I mean? So, I'm not a flip-flopper because of that. I have been 100% on GYPSY and even KRUSTY harder the entire time. However, the people that did the whole billboard thing, weren't they the flip-floppers? Weren't they just sitting there making peace with GYPSY, talking about think about it, they were just sitting there in a live with Bree, poor GYPSY didn't know this, and poor GYPSY was raised this way, and poor GYPSY, and now all of a sudden, we're gonna run hard with a billboard because we need justice for Diddy and everything these people are doing are wrong and they're horrible and they're doxers and they're all of this. While I agree with that they are, make it make sense. You just flip-flopped it in 2 weeks time span. So really you got to watch who's putting the information out there. Is it good to put information out there? Yes. Put the billboards up. Just make sure people's lives aren't in danger when you do it. Put them up. Put them up everywhere. Everywhere. Put all the information out there everywhere. At that part I totally agree with. However, watch the people who were doing it. I'm just saying. That's just my opinion, but watch them because those are the ones that were flip-flopping 2 weeks ago. And it's interesting how all the lines got really blurry before this past weekend.
Yep. That's the part that's so wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is the
I
part
am
that's
not
so
Ivory
wild.
Rose Grows Wild. I am not Ivory Rose Grows Louder. I did not hang out with GYPSY this weekend. I will never, that is one thing I will never flip on. I don't like the girl. I don't agree with her or her family. I think they're pieces of crap. You'll never see me friends with her. Period. That's it.
Literally.
And you know what? A lot of people thought it was funny, and it's okay to have a difference of opinion. I'm not mad
And
at
it
people who
was
thought it was
funny. I
funny and
mean,
went for it.
if you
It
didn't
was.
know, yeah.
You know what I mean? So no, I'm not mad at people for having a difference of opinion. Like, I just the only aspect I didn't like are 2 things, and I'm gonna be completely honest. I didn't like there were people actually there. You had Tammy and Bree and Gypsy, all of them there right next to each other. And then a whole bunch of drunk people around with these posters going up. That just was wild situation to me. That seemed really unsafe.
And
And that I
besides
just
the
don't
fact it was a scam,
right.
like,
You know what I mean?
I
And
don't know,
then
that's just a little bit of it. Like,
I c- yeah, that changing my name is something I won't do because I've been Ivory Rose Nose for a long time and I put a lot of effort into making
and I
that
think
name.
they had her come on the scene as that intentionally.
Absolutely.
Like that was intentional.
Do you know now we're thinking that Lifetime or somebody was down there filming it, right?
They were. Hmm.
Now you got Sheena in a wheelchair. You got I mean, I really need you to all to think of this situation. It
Yeah, it looks
makes
bad. It
it
reads
looks
very
bad.
bad.
for all of the content creators that are trying to push the truth out there. It looks bad, or it's going to be made to look bad,
Yep.
right? That plays, and then you're down there. It takes the credibility away from those of us really trying to talk about the crime and how there really wasn't justice done. And that doesn't mean that everyone has to believe me. That's just, I'm just telling you what I believe, what I think. That's one thing I will never do, is be afraid to say something, and that's different than what other people say. I stand on what I say. I always have. I'm not going to take anything back. I don't think that the baby being on the truck with a Didi's murdered body was that that looks horrible. It's just, I don't know. It didn't gel right with me. Maybe because I'm a mom. Maybe it kind of hit me a little bit different because I just didn't like the two in the same context. You know what I mean? Can you imagine me doing a video where I put the baby up and then a dead picture of Didi? That's just distasteful. That's my opinion. But putting information out there is never a bad thing. But again, because I
No,
don't
that
agree with all
billboard
the
could have been
aspects,
anywhere.
yeah, just
I
because I don't
mean,
agree with all aspects of what went down does not make me a flip-flopper. And I think that's absolutely wild that people who follow me would rather hear me lie to them and tell them what I think they want to hear. You either follow me to lie to you, or you follow me because you are interested in my opinions and what I say. And if you're not following me because you think I'm genuine and I'm really trying to put the correct information out there, then people don't need to be following me, because you're not going to get fake from me. I'm sorry. Did someone just said maybe it was Christy dressed up as Barney. I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't put it past her. I wouldn't put it past her.
that's wild. That's wild.
Misbehaving, I
Nah,
completely agree with you.
you can't put that past Christy.
I'm not saying that anything she does isn't disgusting. Absolutely, she's out here. She's a murderer. Let's be real. And now you're trying to play that you're some mommy vlogger and my sweet little family and acting like you're not a murderer. I completely agree with you, and I completely agree with putting in information out there. I think for me, it hit different when you have like real people on two different sides, and this is a very controversial issue, right? People go hard for each other or go hard for their side, and now you've got these people standing in a group in front of a truck. Wild to me. I just, and that's no, you don't have to agree with me. That's okay. I felt like that was a little bit of a situation that was a little unsafe. And can you imagine if something had happened? Thank God nothing did. But if it did, we would all look like crap.
But here's the thing. If I don't have anything against a billboard. I
No,
don't.
me neither. Yeah,
My issue is having it where she is at. Because if you want to
right.
bring awareness, she doesn't have to be there. Awareness is awareness. But it was a scam anyway. Like it was just a scam to make
I hear you misbehaving.
like it's
It was
actually
so
really
funny.
frustrating to say it and know that you know what you're talking about and people are like, "No, it wasn't a scam. The writing is on the wall."
And then you got this lady who runs the company who needs GoFundMe's now because she ain't making money because her business, and the driver got fired, or I don't know what the story is, but I mean, think about that. Like that's a hot mess right there too.
Like
Put it
just
called
even
that way.
that. And now they're like, "Oh, we need donations." And people are emailing me like, "Nina, can you promote this so that they can get Look, no shade.
$6,000.
That's It's all intentional. I bet you that truck is still fine. This truck is still doing business. They're just out here playing games so that they could blame creators for making a big deal and people having issues. And Gypsy is going to act like she helped the company Just this is just it's a scam. It's a scam.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Gypsy
Coming
and y'all
from
don't think it's coincidental that Gypsy knew exactly how much the billboard costs? Like,
there's that
exactly.
too.
Like, they're literally playing games. Hello. $1,000, allegedly.
Yeah, I think it was like 980 something or something like
Um,
that is what the billboard
Yankee Cajun
stuff
saying it
cost.
was 750, not 1,000. Right, what credible company would first of all, if you have a business and you have to have a GoFundMe, then you probably shouldn't be in business.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Oh, that's the crazy Tammy.
Who?
Let me tell you something.
Wait, what
Imma
happened?
tell y'all this just because at this point I don't give a damn. Imma just go ahead and tell the
Mhm.
truth and shame the devil. That's
Thank you, Ziggy Star.
uh so that same Tammy lady, back when I first started creating content, I gotta find the messages too. She was like, if you
Is
ever
this
need
the
a
Tammy
place,
lady with
yeah,
the
she
Barney
said, if you
doll?
ever
I mean
need
the
a
Barney.
place, you could come stay with me. And me, I could smell the rope. Like, no, ma'am.
Stop it.
I'm good. Like, no, ma'am. No, ma'am.
I'll tell you what though, I'll give Tammy a lot of credit though. She went down there. She went down there and she did it. I just, you know what I mean? But man, like God forbid somebody would have done something to her. Like, I don't know. That's just crazy. But she did it with her puppy.
And it just so happened that she's down there. She, I'm telling you, the whole thing is just, it's, there's so many moving parts. How can they be trying to really play us? There's so many moving parts. And like I
And let me
said,
tell you, I was
Christy
just
is
gonna
the
say, I
brains of
was
the
just gonna bring up
operations.
Kristen.
Yep, she's the brains of the operation. She's the
She
corporate.
really, she absolutely is. And y'all, let me tell you something. Um, Ivy Rose, you were worried about Gypshit's safety. Let me tell you something. You want me to be completely honest with you right now? Yes, because it is not our job to harm her physically. Y'all, come on.
And do you understand what kind of lawsuits
That makes
and
us
other
just as bad
stuff
as
would
her.
fight that would fly if something happened and we were endorsing it?
I want to see her arrested.
Like,
I want to see her put back in prison where I believe she belongs.
some of
But
y'all don't
would I
think.
promote somebody going to physically hurt her on purpose? No. I'm sorry, I can't back that.
No, do
Absolutely
you
not, I
have to
won't.
do you really understand that there are people on the internet that get charged for people's unalivings because they were endorsing things or set things up? Like, y'all really have to use your head because some of you, I really have to wonder, how did you make it to this stage in your life? Because, like, do you have like bumpers around yourself? Because you don't think.
We honestly, for you to sit there and want to see her get hurt, doesn't that make you as bad as the person that hurt her mother? Aren't we talking about a justice for a murder? And then you're gonna sit there and be like, "Oh yeah, I hope she gets her ass kicked and killed." And no, man,
Yeah, you can
I could
understand
never
and
live with
like
that on my heart for anybody, even if I don't like them.
endorsing it. It doesn't make a difference if you funded it. If you're endorsing it, it's just as bad. Because
How is that
why is it
different than
creators are you're called an influencer because you have influence and you could influence and a certain amount of people. When you misuse that influence to someone's detriment, that is a problem. And It's some of y'all need to get off the internet if you don't understand that, because you are putting yourself in harm's way too.
I want to address this comment that was just in here. How is that any different than y'all promoting the book signing? Because that was not done with any malicious intent. That was just to go to be a vigil for Didi, right? We were just going to go there. She had security there. We knew where she was going to be. People knew where she was going to be. She had
She
her security
told
there.
people
And
to come
honestly, it
buy
was just as
tickets.
a vigil for Didi. That wasn't, there wasn't, that wasn't for a malicious purpose. And let's be real, there was nothing but cops around. That
First
was,
of
you know
all,
what I mean?
when
Like,
are you going to understand? Like, when is it going to get through your thick ass head that this was all set up by KRUSTY? This was not for justice. This was none of that. This was all a setup. So as soon as you comprehend that, you'll understand this was to make you look like a dummy and all of us. Get it through your thick ass skull. Like, I don't understand. It's so frustrating that people could be so stupid to keep we're telling you what it is, and you're gonna keep telling us that, oh, well, you didn't want are you serious? The whole thing was centered around Gypsy. Did it say anything about justice? How fucking stupid do you have to be?
I agree, Miss Behaven. And I'm not gonna lie, she was in that camp a whole lot longer than she is outed now because she got caught with that picture. In my opinion, she was there a lot longer.
This is nuts. Like, I really don't understand why it's so hard to put one and two together. Why is it that hard? Why is it that hard? Because if you can't put one and two together, it really makes me wonder, did you even get past junior high school? Because if you can't put one and two together, are you able to count your money in your bank account? How do you pay your bills? Like, how do you do anything? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. It is the
You,
writing is on the wall. You like, I drew the lines. I created the dots. I drew the lines. I showed you the picture, and you're still telling me it is a horse.
you know what I don't understand? People in this community keep saying we got to put out information about who Gypsy really is and about the crime and the injustice done to Didi, right? But yet, really think about it, guys. Why are the ones that put out the most content and go the hardest always the one being accused of they're working for Lifetime, they're doing this? Wait, what? The ones that are going the hardest to put out the information are the flip-floppers, are the it makes no sense. Make it make sense, guys.
Remember, I was the target for months when I kept speaking out against Gypsy. Everyone hated me. I had so many hate comments, hate messages. My page was full of hate comments. I was the one that disliked her and spoke out against her back when everybody thought she was okay and she was cool and she would do better. I was that
Every
person.
everybody came at me today calling me a flip-flopper. Now, really, if we're all concerned about justice and putting information out there, I'm one of the creators that puts the most information and goes the hardest. I'm one of the biggest creators that'll sit there and say it. So if you really are all concerned about justice for Didi and justice for here and putting
Yankee
it all up there, why are you all trying to shut me up and call me a flip-flopper? If we're really all concerned about the truth being put out there, then why am I the flip-flopper all of a sudden? Make it make sense, guys. Really think about that. The ones that are working the hardest to put the information out there. Me and Nina, our whole group worked on those FOIAs. Do you know how much work we put into them to go through them, to get them in order for you guys? We read word for word, but yet we're working for Lifetime and we're flip-flopper. Make it make sense. The amount of time we put in to be able to do that for all you. And there was a whole group behind it. Make it make sense. But yet we're flip-floppers and we're working for Lifetime, the ones that go the hardest? Well,
That
even if I did work
too.
Lifetime, if I'm putting the right information out there, who cares? Which I
Uh,
don't, by the way, because if I did, I wouldn't. Go ahead.
why would I tolerate
Yeah.
exactly? Like, and you know what? I'm gonna really keep 100 with you guys, and this might be an unpopular opinion, and people might not like what I have to say. But why did people believe Ivory Rose grows over me when she was erratic and unstable? Why? If you compare to me to her, she had everything to show she was unhinged and a paid actress. Why did people believe her over me?
You're breaking up, Nina, a little bit.
Now about that,
You're breaking up. Hold on. Re-say what.
I would be over here.
Say that again because we didn't hear you. You're
Can you
breaking
hear
up.
me?
Yes.
Can you hear me now? I feel like I'm on an AT&T commercial. Um, why would I tolerate them and their racist asses just because for a check? I will never betray myself. I love me way too much. And I'm very pro black. That doesn't mean I'm anti anything else, but I am pro black. And I would never degrade myself like that for a dollar. Trust me, there's plenty of times. Well, even today, Ivory, you was like, say anything, leave this all alone. Just like let this like go. It'll all come out. I was like, nah, I'm gonna do it because I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm done. I'll take the backlash. People could talk smack. They could say whatever. I'm just done. Like I'm over it. Like I don't like liars. I don't like manipulators. I don't like people that try to play. Like I don't like any of that. So I'm gonna just call it out and just be done with it. And whatever happens from that happens.
Yeah. But that's, I mean, honestly, that's how it should be. I just don't understand why, if this niche is really about putting the information out there about Gypsy and the story and the crime and the facts of it all, why are the
Facts.
ones that put out the most facts and go the hardest the ones constantly trying to be brought down by people within the niche? Make it make sense. If there's not other people working behind the scenes. Oh, Ivory Rose knows works for Lifetime. What? Am
And
I? They're paying me to put out anti-gypsy content. Make it make sense, y'all. Come on.
the irony about it too is when you really think about it, I lost my job in May. Y'all didn't find out about it until months later. Why? I never wanted a pity party. I wasn't asking anybody to give me anything. Anything I get, I'll
Hmm.
work for. I wasn't
Yep.
asking for any handouts at all. Like really think about that. Like I'll if there's products that I like and I know they work, I'll tag them. Okay. I get commission off of it. Like I'll do my videos, I'll make my money off of my videos, but I don't ask anyone for handouts. I don't. I don't ask for anything. And I still didn't come on here and tell y'all. I told y'all when it came out. When y'all asked, like, wait, did you really lose your job? That's when I told y'all. I wasn't out here trying to get anything out of it. Just really think about that. Ivy Rose Grows Wild has lied about everything. I told you guys she didn't lose her job. I knew that because I knew somebody there that told me they went to her job and she was still working there. I said this all to you guys. Nobody believed me. I knew the whole time she was still working. She was lying. She was saying all of this and saying these people were coming for her, and that's all she would scream. But if you lost your job, you're saying nobody's willing to hire you. Like just all of it just didn't make sense. If you really think about it, all of it never made sense. All of it was a
Yeah.
scam.
Yeah. I mean, tell me how somebody your life was being threatened, right? Weren't they stalking her, actively harassing her
That's
and
the
her family?
facts.
They needed to get a lawyer for all of that, and then you're out drinking with them because you trust them so much? Let me tell you something. Nobody who harasses me, stalks me, threatens me with guns is ever going to drink with me or sit at my table.
Drink
Ever.
with you at that. Get intoxicated with you at that. And let's be real, Ivy Rose Grows Wild did not put that picture out. Sheena did. They put her out there. I guarantee you
Yep.
she was out there with them Friday night.
Is the chat just not moving for me or is it people?
It's moving.
Oh, is it? I can't see it. It's not moving for me. I was just
When
making
she
sure.
Ivy Rose Grows Wild first started up her stuff, I lost a lot of subscribers on YouTube and TikTok. And I knew I was like, okay, well, it's fine. It'll be okay. Because I knew she was a scam artist. Morbid is just tired of the drama. And I think a lot of people really don't understand how much it drains you to come up here and have to address BS and constantly like deal with the extra drama and like all of it. I keep to myself. Like if you really pay attention, Ivory is really the only person that I talk to on a regular basis. Not that I don't like people, I just don't like drama. I don't like chaos, so I don't get involved with people. I don't I don't do shady stuff to people, so I make sure I surround myself with people that I trust. Like I love Morbid dearly. Like I know that if anything ever happened, Morbid is always there. He will always look out. Like Morbid is solid. And if anyone can't see that he's genuine, he's as genuine as it comes. Ivory, she's genuine as it comes. Like there's people out here that are very, very genuine, but there's also people out here that love chaos and thrive off of it and will sit here and tell you one thing, but they're doing something else behind the scenes. Like a lot of these people are acting and you just have to see it for what it is and take it just for what it is. Like I could see why Morbid was just like, yeah, nah. Cause it's a lot. Like you are having to it's draining. Like you are letting people take energy from you that
Yeah.
are trying to destroy you.
Yeah, it is hard. Especially, Morbid gets so much respect from me for the whole Justice with Didi thing. He did that, he worked it out well, he put the plan in place, and I get his frustration with that. I
Yeah, he
really,
really
really do.
he worked very hard for it and his heart was in the right place. And if you really watch how Morbid operates, one thing there was a couple of things where I realized how solid he was. But even when you think about Dreamer, he really handled Dreamer with care.
Yeah, he did.
When he could have been the opposite of that. He handled her with care because he knew that, she has issues.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you think about that, and even that girl that came to visit him and whatever happened, they ended up getting into it and you saw the video. Do you see how much of a gentleman he was in that video? Any other man would have been like kick rocks and beat it. But he was so compassionate. He even said, I'll pay for a hotel for you to stay for at the night. Like, I'll go like, just that is someone that is genuine. Like, that's you can't that's not someone that's unauthentic.
It's real. Yeah.
Yeah, people might not really like the way he approaches things sometimes, but he's a good person to the core of him. And he really wanted justice for Didi and he fought for that. But when you're fighting for something and everybody's fighting against you, it's hard to accomplish that. And it becomes very frustrating. Yes, Noodles. And there's not a lot of really genuine creators. Like, it's few and far between to find very genuine people that, you know, they do things not because people are watching, just because that's who they are as a person. Because trust me, even Ivory, there is so many times that things could have been said or done to turn everything upside down, but it was tactful because
Yep.
of simple reason of integrity.
You know, that's what everyone does their content differently. Everybody, you
It
know what I mean?
wasn't just
My
Gypsy Frack. I spoke to him today. When he got off live, he we were texting each other back and forth. I'm telling you that he was exhausted.
and it is. Let me tell you something about this, Nate. It is mentally draining. It
Yeah,
really is because I have to fight harder against like other creators and followers and literally like people than I do against Gypsy and her content. You know what I mean? Like it's just the most wild thing that just the mess that people create makes it so hard to do the content, keep it real and put it out there. And again, if we're all for the same justice, regardless, she's a murderer, we're trying to put the truth out there. I don't understand why it's so hard and why there has to be, this person, that person. It's just wild. Are you there, Nina?
yeah, it is. It's
Oh,
just it's crazy that people will constantly be sitting here talking about you working for someone. Like, that is just nuts. Like, the level that it's like, were you dropped on the head when you were a baby? Now, I saw somebody say earlier, oh, Morbid was working for them, Morbid and Nina. Are you
I'm not gonna lie. You know how many times I got messages. Morbid is working for Christy, and I'm like, oh Jesus Christ, I can't, y'all, I can't. It's just wild. You know what I mean? It's like, come on. That man, it can't be said any more sharp what his feelings are towards people. I'm just saying.
like, literally, because he is brutally honest about it, and then people will sit there and say,
For real.
"Oh, you," and you know what? I know this might be kind of rude, but the fact that some people really can't read the room, now I understand why so many people stay in relationships with people that don't like them, because they don't see the signs, because they just be wandering through life. It is very
Stevie Wonder.
clear. I
Stop.
used to wonder, how do people end up in relationships and stay in them with people that don't like them and they think that they love them. Like, how, but after seeing how people operate on this app, I get it. I definitely get it. And I actually feel bad.
Yeah,
'Cause
not
it's
Stevie Wonder
styles.
through life. Gotta keep that.
But really think about it. They're like, I feel like they're kinda like your kid when you tell them to go get something and you're like, right there." And they're looking everywhere else but where it's at. That's exactly what I feel like they're doing.
So I want to address Amanda Ping's comment. She said, "The thing is, though, you never know who to trust, like for real. I trust you both, but I don't know you from Adam. You're a person on the internet. People will do messed up stuff, as we know from Gypsy." You know what, Amanda? You're absolutely right. But you want to know who a creator is, look at their content. Look at have they ever faltered from their content? Are they really truly pushing out true statements, facts, all of that? You don't have to like a person. You don't have to, you know, go into their life. But are they pushing the narrative that we want pushed out there? That's truly what you have to watch. Do they question? Do they flip flop? Are they saying one thing and then putting videos out about one thing, but then jumping in a live and saying the complete opposite? You really just have to watch the creator and don't listen to anybody else and just watch their content. Are they pushing out what you believe? That's the best advice I can give people. That's what I've
First of all,
learned to
people
do.
can't be fake for a year and a half.
Mm-mm.
You can't show up
No,
every day on social media and it just doesn't work like that.
it is
Like,
really hard to play two sides, and they always we've watched it. They always get caught. They always get jammed up.
yeah, you really, because there's plenty of days I might have came on this app and I had personal stuff going on in my life that I didn't feel the best, but I gave you guys the best of me and y'all didn't know that. Like you
Yep.
still have to show up. Like you you can't fake it that long. Like think about Ivory Rose Grows Wild. She came out of nowhere and it was late in the game when she came out. Okay? She never spoke on the actual case ever. That wasn't a red flag to anybody.
Yeah. That's the biggest
You
red
never
flag.
spoke on the case, but from the beginning people been chasing you. You done
How do
lost your
you
job.
speak about justices and injustices when you don't know the real story? You don't know any of the story. You just started pushing out a narrative.
And that's why I do these spin the blocks because when I spin a block, I don't when I make up my mind to thing, that's it. It's done. And for me to change my mind, you have to come with 25 receipts and they need to be
Mhm.
notarized for me to be like, "Okay, all right, you got it. You're right."
Do you think about do you know how many times Nina and I have had conversations where I'm like, "No, really, like, really think about this for a second," and the amount of proof that I had to come to her with before she even considered it, and that's you know what I mean? That's honesty, and, we do talk, we are friends, so for her to be like, "Nah, just that's not good," you know what I mean? She that's when you know that she's putting out true information, when even there is no just convincing her because, "Oh, this is a good story." It's like, "No, show me why you believe that." You know what I mean? Like, that's credibility right there. I could never say to "Oh, here's a story, let's run with it." She'd be like, "Nah, bullshit, where's your receipt?" She'd call me out. She'd be the first one to call me out.
She really did. They really did break up. Um, when was that? That was like what, November ish when that first happened. And when you really think about it, she pretty much said to y'all that they were
Admitted it.
going through issue. Yes,
She
they
was talking to
she
Ryan because she was having issues with Ken, she told y'all. She
yeah.
admitted it.
Yeah.
Did you really need more than that?
I mean, the at this point, they're trying to stay together solely to prove a point. They live in their
Yeah.
life to prove a point to me. That's crazy. Hey, uh, whether you
And
are together or not, I sleep at night. I don't give a damn what y'all weirdos doing. And that's even during the show, like, you could see how inconsistent, like, the storyline was flipping when we watched the storyline in real time. So to see the storyline not follow what we seen happen in real time is should tell you everything.
seriously.
I
And
don't think
y'all,
Ken should take Aurora and run because I think Ken is just as bad as Gypsy. He is. Let's be real. I think people think he's a better person and he'd be a better parent, but he's not. Like, this man was negligent enough to get a murderer pregnant. It's like really just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, somebody call 911 on homeboy because it's an emergency. Like, it's a problem. Like, none of them are fit to take care of her. She is going to have a very hard life because of the people around her. And it's unfortunate because she didn't ask to be here. They brought her here, and their responsibility is to give her the best.
yep.
Listen, I
Good
know
night,
this sound
superstar.
far fetched, and I used to think y'all was crazy, but I was talking about this to Ivory the other day, wasn't I?
What?
About Christy and Ken.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
was like, he does low key look like Rod.
He looks
I
like
might
Rod.
actually. Mhm.
Yeah, he looks like the younger version of Rod, which
And Christy looked like a
I'm about to
man.
say something. I'm about to say something really messed up, but y'all go with me here. I need you to think on a psychological, wavelength here. It really makes me wonder if that's not Gypsy's attachment, or you know what I mean, to Ken as well. The fact that she has daddy issues. Daddy wasn't there. Let's be real. We know she had daddy issues. And that's like her daddy. That's what her daddy would have looked like when she was young and he wasn't around. And that's really why I think that maybe she has some kind of like infatuation with him. Is because it
Hey,
looks like what
Tess.
her daddy would have been or looked like when he wasn't around.
That's creepy. I don't want to be with
Isn't
nobody that
it?
look like my dad. And he's not an ugly man, but I just, hell no.
But let's be real, it's not like I mean, we've seen how he treats her. It's not like he's all like all over her and there's no chemistry there, but I think that her infatuation really is that's the dad I should have had back when I didn't have one. And I really think that's what it is. And it's the same thing for Christy a little bit too. Like, you know, I get to
Could
have the
you
young version of Rod
imagine
back.
talking about how this man love you so much and you're riding for him when you could tell he hates you? I would never, never. No. If you even look like you're disgusted by me, I'm blocking you. Hell no. Mm. That's crazy. He looked like he was disgusted with you from the very beginning. That's wild.
Yeah. His sister looks like girlfriend. Not me, Miss Spidey
Free
Center.
Ken Urker. I promise you, as a little girl, my mom used to call me her little psychic as a joke because she was like, "You just always know what's gonna happen." And I don't know what it is, but it is just like a hell, Ivory, how many times stuff happened with me and you, and I'll say, Ivory, this is finna happen, and you like, nah. And then
Oh my gosh.
how
All
many
the
times you're
freaking
like, "You
time
know
that
what? I'm never gonna say you're wrong again." Like
I used to question her all the time, and I'd be searching just to make sure. Now I'm just like, "Yeah, just tell me because I'm not even gonna I just believe you because it's always true."
it happened times. I was like, "Okay, you know what? I know you're right because you have to be right because you're right." So
Trust me, if there's anyone trying to prove this chick wrong, it's me. I want one time for her to be wrong. I'll let y'all know when it happens because 'cause she'll never live it down, but it has yet to happen.
it's so funny because I remember I'm not gonna say what it was, but I remember one time I said, "Ivy, this is gonna happen," and she was like, "No, there's no way that's gonna happen. That is not possible. It's not gonna happen. Like I hear you, but you are wrong." The next day, there was a newspaper article about it, and I sent it to her. And then I called her after I sent it, and I called her only because I knew she was gonna look up the article while I
I
was
sure
on the phone.
Googled it.
And she was like, "You said this yesterday." I was like, "I told you."
Yeah, I did. I was trying to Google it thinking she was just joking and busting my chops. Nah, she was right. I was like, "Bull crap, you paid somebody
No,
to put
I
this
just
out there, you
knew. I
made
had a
this."
gut feeling.
So now
I
she's
just
like, "You're
knew.
Googling, aren't you?" I'm like, "Shut up."
'Cause I knew I was like, I know you're like, I don't believe this girl. Like we just
Yeah.
said this yesterday, and here she is with the
And I
receipts.
refuse to
No
believe
way.
it. Yeah.
It's so fu it was that was so funny. And when I sent it to you, I knew it was gonna be hilarious because I was like, Ivy's gonna be like, "Oh, hell no."
I was like, "There's no freaking way. This is bull crap. Come on. Like, come on." And nope, she was right.
It's funny. It really is. Because it's not even intentional, it's just like it's not intentional. Yeah, your
Yeah,
intuition will tell you a lot. Like, if you really
your gut never lies.
man, never.
You
Even when I
already know the
question
answer before
myself,
you ask the question. Mhm.
it is so true. And this whole thing, thank you, Yankee Cajun. But this whole thing is just, I really just want y'all to know it's a setup because the level that people are out here doing the most and saying the most, people are really not understanding that this is all a setup.
Yeah, it really is. It
You
really
know,
is.
we haven't heard from Ryan from a while in a while, and that has
No,
made
he's
me
been really
wonder.
quiet
Yeah,
because he was, like, originally wanting to do more lives, he was doing his YouTubes, he was getting things going, and then all of a sudden, bam, he was quiet. Like, I wonder what that's about. Could something be going on between him and Gypsy behind the scenes legally? Or maybe he's just over it. Good for him.
yeah. I don't. Something has to be going on.
Yeah, because I feel like he was really trying to get his social media, really going, and then bam, quiet. But you know what? It's probably because he saw Christy jump into the lives and goes, "I know what that means. I'm out. You're not coming after me."
That's true.
Because they all know her habits. First of all, I called that habit the longest time ago because I told you guys every time you see Christy jumping in alive, there is some truth that's about to be put out that needs to be shot down or some distraction to something happening. It's always been like that. Look at the history. People are creatures of habit. They will do the same thing, and she is definitely a creature of her habit. She does it all the time. And then think about when she was hopping in these lives, these stories she was talking about. Mia being what, 8 years old, and she's having conversations with Gypsy about Dan. And first of all, I feel like Christy slipped and let a whole lot. more out than she even expected to, because all you told me and all I heard in that live was, if you knew about
Thank
Dan, you knew
you.
about Nick, and you know a lot more than what you're telling people about that whole time span of when the murder was being planned and happened.
Yep.
That's my opinion. And, once I get the receipts, I'll show them. Right now, that's just what I believe. Just from listening and watching and hearing her talk. Not just these fake stories she's been putting out, but really listening to what she's saying.
Yeah, she talks too much and she's not smart enough to, like, she needs to write down what she's saying because she's not smart enough to not, like, give herself away.
And then it's funny because where is Gypsy? Well, Christy's jumping in all these lives. Like, what's going on there? You gotta wonder.
I'm probably making some type of TikTok dance.
And I just feel like all this was a distraction for what? That's the question people really need to be asking. All of this is a distraction for what?
Because I guarantee you, wherever they were doing karaoke night, they did a little fake engagement. That's gonna be on season 3 that nobody's gonna damn watch.
Man, can they survive this? Is there a season 3? Can there
Yeah,
be a
that's why they
season
had.
3? I'm not gonna lie, originally, I was told there was gonna be a season 3 by a lot of people, and I believed it until I saw season 2 end, and I'm like, "Are they really gonna try and put this on national television again?"
Yeah,
Because the
they're
only people that watch it are the content creators for the content. Let's be
they're
real.
I think they're gonna recoup their money when she gets off parole because she's gonna get herself in trouble, which she is, and she is being unhinged. Um, but they're gonna try to. I'm telling you, the season finale will probably be a whack ass ghetto looking wedding.
Yeah, we should know that there's gonna be a season 3 since we work for Lifetime.
All
What are we
right,
talking about?
right. I forgot. Damn.
I could alright, I'm gonna throw this out there. I just want to address something while
There are
because I'm here.
pictures of the film crew.
Yes,
I
filming them.
posted it. Like, I'll tell y'all the sky is blue, and y'all will tell me nah, it's yellow. Like, no, they're filming. It's just as simple. Do you think TMZ did that article about them just because? Come on now.
Yeah, I think it's wild. I think we're being set up to look like we have no credibility. Um, you know, man, I'm just saying.
They said, remember that show, Gypsy Weddings? You remember that?
Yes. I was just gonna say something, I lost my train of thought, y'all. Oh, I wanna go back to, while I was being called a flip-flopper today, people have been stating that, it looks bad for me because my content was on the show, and it looks like, that's flip-flopping, but I really want people to think, do you know how many people, how many, like, TikTok watchers, how many followers contacted me asking me questions about Gypsy Rose, and how many people I flipped and gave them my opinions, gave them the facts, gave them all the information, and they saw things from our perspective. Do you know how many people I flipped and they found out about me because of the show. So, you know what I mean? While I get people like, "Oh, you sold out to Lifetime," but no, don't we wanna put those creators that actually talk about the truth out there? You know what I mean? Like, I just don't understand people sometimes. Did I do it because Lifetime paid me $100? No, I promise. I don't need the $100 that bad.
I'll
But
tell you this.
one of the reasons why I did it was because isn't putting people who are speaking about the truth out there, people actually did reach out to me because of that, and I did flip people because of it. Isn't that a score, guys? Hello?
And I'm gonna
Anybody
be
there?
honest with you, when when if they get married, once they get married, the NDA is null and void. You can't have a spouse signing an NDA. It's not.
They're already yeah, yeah. First of all, anything between a husband and wife is already protected information, and then, yeah, as far as business, that'd be wild. Could you imagine? I would love to have my husband sign an NDA. "Listen,
Girl,
you can't talk. Sign on the dotted line, honey,
literally don't
or I'll
say
sue
a
you."
damn thing. Like it facts. Oh man, that baby shower
Exactly,
was tacky
Megzy.
as
That
hell.
was
So
my
just
point.
know. Yes. It will. So
I feel
honestly, if he did it even for just that, like I just wouldn't want to be in any legal bindings with her.
yeah.
I don't see like how that seems like a smart decision. That's just wild to me.
Yeah, listen, if people are asking you to sign an NDA, there's a problem.
A lot of facts.
I need you to go find the info first before you sign on any dotted line.
Like if you need me to sign an NDA to be with you, something ain't right.
Yeah, something's right.
Like,
This is not
something's not
the
right.
relationship I wanna be in.
You're telling me right now that I'm signing up for bullshit.
Yeah. What am I about to find out about you? Nah, no, you can have it. Nope, here's your paperwork back. Bye.
You are telling me right now you are signing up for the scream machine, but you can't say nothing. Yeah, nah.
Could you
It's a no for
could you
me.
imagine? Yeah, me too. Please don't come at me with paperwork if you wanna date me. There's a
That's
problem.
that's nuts. Like, that's nuts.
I just wanna be normal. Sign my NDA. Come on,
You
I
you
can't.
killed you killed your mom and you want me to sign an NDA?
For real, like, what are you about to spring on me? Hell no, I don't trust that crap. No, hey. Why? So you can sit and whisper sweet nothings about how you murdered your mother in my sleep and I can't tell nobody? Nah, get out of here, man.
I'm
It's
just
wild. I
saying.
wouldn't know.
It's nuts.
You don't know somebody truly until you live with them. Oh, this, yeah.
Oh
It
yeah.
definitely will be interesting. I
First
have
of
a
all,
theory about that.
if I was him, I would have been on the day she got off parole. I'd have been on the highway like a getaway slave. I is free, massa.
Stop. But honestly, I mean, really, think about what Red just said in the comments. Imagine signing a murderer's NDA. Really let that sink in, guys. Really think about that. Everyone, just stop what they're doing and really think about that. If a murderer comes up to you and asks you to sign an NDA, I need you to just question life and all of it. Like, please don't sign it. Okay, that's just setting you up for no good. I'm just saying.
No facts. Like it's and not only that, she asked you to sign an NDA and you had a baby by her.
Yeah, seriously, it's
Like
like,
you voluntarily had a baby by her. Like, wow.
and then she wants you to sign the NDA. Oh, hell no, hell no.
I'll take 500 to get out of here.
I'll take stupid for 500 bucks, Bob. That's funny. That's the truth, though. Like, really? Like, yeah, a murderer's NDA. The what? Come on, man.
I can imagine Manson saying, "You know what? If we're gonna be in this relationship, I need you to sign right here on the dotted line."
Yeah.
Um, you've done more to people for less. Like,
Oh,
I
I'm
think I'll
sure there'll
pass.
be a prenup. It'll be a you can't look at anybody else. You can't, like, yeah, I can imagine what a prenup from Gypsy Rose would look like. I mean, I don't know what you're getting. You know what I mean? Like, no, you're taking the baby. We get divorced. No, you're taking the baby. I can see it now. You're gonna pay me $1 million when I cheat on your ass. Yeah, it's wild.
You know what's so crazy too? Like when you just think about, could you imagine your kid being in her daughter's class, even if it's private school,
No, no.
talking about, mom, can little baby Aurora come over? No, I don't want her mama coming to my door. Can I go over? No, 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 no. You can't. Not everybody walks out of where she's at. Can she come to the
Stop.
birthday party? No, I don't want to scare the other parents. So even if you genuinely don't want to be like, you really, it's like a safety concern. Like legitimately.
Could you imagine Gypsy Rose being the brownie troop leader, mother?
Everybody, that team empty. They talking about, I thought we were
No,
all
trust
going to
me.
the ice
Take
cream
the
store.
cookie.
Nah.
They'll be scamming outside of Walmart with the Girl Scout cookies. 175 a box. Trust me, they're murderer cookies.
You couldn't trust, like, man. Like I
Would
low key feel
you
so bad.
would you buy Girl Scout cookies off
Man,
them?
even if your daughter was on her cheer team. First of all, now it's cheer competitions out the state. Yeah,
She
nah.
would be at the top of the pyramid,
No.
I'll tell you that.
Facts. And you need to make sure you can see everything that little baby's hands is doing. Like you just
That's a
can't.
fact.
Like you just, it literally is a safety concern. And what's funny, when she said private school, it made me laugh because I went to private school most of my life. And I was like, private
They
school
do
parents
interviews.
are, first of all, and
First
they're
of all, they
way
do
more
family
bougie
interviews.
than, like, th- private school parents are snooty. You think you
Yeah.
gonna bring your little murderous ass in there and they're gonna be like, oh hey, it's Gypsy Rose. They're gonna be like, I paid too much money for my kid to be here with this. How dare you?
There's an interview to get into most public schools, a family interview. I mean, really think about that. The second the chick walked in the door, you're out. You'd never get in.
How do you even explain? Yeah, this is Gypsy Rose. First of all, oh, could this the headlines? Yeah, no.
I've been teaching it for the first 4 years. Now it's time for you to take over. Oh, hell no.
And then the funny part is, think about it. Kids always say things that is like misunderstood because they don't know really what they're saying. Like one day, Lonnie had
Kids
told
say
her
the
teacher,
darndest things.
yeah, she was like, my mom, she drinks and drives all the time.
That's so funny.
Yeah. And so the teacher was like, she drinks and drives all the time. She says, yeah. And sometimes it's clear, sometimes it's brown, but she drinks and drives all the time.
Stop it.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. And then when they asked her to elaborate, she was saying water or Diet Coke.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
Now imagine everything's gonna be a red flag that she
First
says.
of all, the kid will be in school talking about, "I can't talk to you. Did you sign an NDA?"
No, literally. Like it's when you really think about it, I really actually feel bad for her.
Listen, I truly hope that that kid, like, I really do feel like, unfortunately, that child's gonna walk around with the weight of her mother's sins on her shoulders. It's unfortunate. I really do, however, hope that that child, um, you know, does well despite it. You know what I mean? Like, you wish the best for children, like, even her child, like, I don't wouldn't ever. You know what I mean? I just it really, it's your heart goes out to her.
No,
Other
literally.
kids are giving Valentines and Aurora's handing out NDAs. Yeah, right. Everyone sign here on the dotted line. That's so funny. Can you imagine Gypsy on Dancing with the Stars? Yesterday she said she's thinking of it. Wait, stop. What?
The problem
Stop.
is she can't dance. That's the issue. Did you see how she danced at that when she was singing Scrubs? She literally looked like there was something
No,
in her clothes that
no,
she was trying to get out.
I didn't watch the dancing. I'm not gonna lie. I
Man,
didn't
she was
even.
like wiggling. She literally was like
Like
she
she had a
has
knife in
no
her
foot.
back.
Mm, I guess it could be.
I can't
Yeah.
stand Tori Spelling. I don't like Tori Spelling. I think that Tori Spelling is just ugh. I'm not a fan of Tori Spelling. And I think they're both using each other for clout because they're both desperate for attention.
Yes, it was given she was having spasms. That's exactly what it was.
It looked like the Tin Man needed oil.
Yes, that's exactly what it was given. Like that's exactly. Oh, I would have to have done it this live on my laptop in order to let you guys see it.
Tori wasn't even the one of the good ones from 902. No, Tori Spelling was somebody who couldn't even become something with a name like Spelling. I mean, she was the son of Aaron Spelling and still couldn't do anything with that. Y'all, I mean, that's how do you not? You were literally handed a whole name, and you still couldn't even do anything with it.
Oh wow, Miss BH said she worked on 90210 with Tori way back in the day.
Oh, wow. What are your feelings on her? Can I ask? You
Why
don't
does
have to
she look
answer. I'm
so
just curious.
crazy now, though? She looks visibly crazy to me now.
Who, Tori's? Because I'm sure she is. She doesn't have the talent to be an actress. Um, she doesn't. Yeah, I'm just not a fan of hers. I'm really not. We used to
That's
call that show
crazy.
Hussies. That's so. Tori can't even spell. She calls a GED a GD, and oh my gosh. She
Oh
can't
wow.
dance. She can't sing. She can't cook. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'm not a fan of hers. I feel like, I mean, you were literally handed a spot on a TV show because of who your father was. But again, I feel like, a lot of people went after the mother after he died, after daddy died. But no, I agree. Go do something first. Then come back and collect your money. I can see her being stuck up and rude just because of who she was and the name she had.
But how you gonna be stuck up and rude and like literally interviewing a murderer
I
that
just feel
sits
like,
and lie to your face?
I get it's a gut-wrenching story. It's a really good story. Let's be real.
Not
That's the
really.
problem.
It's not really because if you think about it, it's not fine tuned. It's not.
That's it. When you think about it, it's not fine-tuned. Absolutely, I agree with that. However, when you just hear the story, it has all of the things. It has, you know, the abuse, of everything. Don't just run with her story because she just got out of prison and let's be real, she's headlining a lot and TMZ a lot and getting a lot of attention and just run with a story. Because Tori Spelling is gonna lose credibility because of that. Not that she really had any to begin with, and that sucks. You didn't have much credibility to begin with. And that's the same thing with the Lowry chick, the Kaylin
But she
Lowry, the
said
teen mom chick.
Tori's publicist gave her a cease and desist. When did she do that?
Tori's publicist gave who a cease and desist?
Misbehaving because she was misbehaving.
Good for you, misbehaving. I'm just kidding. She said because I was misbehaving. Tori is
Oh, a few
absolutely
days
free
ago.
Tanaka.
That's
Oh, wait, what?
interesting. A
Oh,
few
I didn't
days
know
ago.
that. You were served a cease and desist from her, from Tori Spelling a few days ago. What'd you say? That's wild. Because I told her to stop giving a murderer a platform. Well, that's the truth, though. There's so many, first of all, there's so many other people that deserve a platform. Why don't you take one of the Turpin kids up on your platform, Tori? Talk about them. Though they were screwed over twice. They were screwed over by their parents and the system. That's a story you can run with.
Literally. Literally.
But the problem is the Turpins aren't in TMZ right now and in the headlines. Because if it was, you know what I mean? That's who you talk about. You want a story about crazy abuse? That's one to look into right there. That was a horrible, horrible story. They got saved, they got rescued, they got out, and then went into foster care and were re abused by the system. Absolutely insane story.
Yeah,
Yeah, it really is.
that's a really, really crazy, very crazy story. It made me man. And acting they're so humble.
Yeah, they really are. And they really could have done a lot with that story. And they are really trying to be advocates. I know the sisters are. The rest of them are just trying to catch up with life. Um, but I was talking about that story the other day and was in tears. It really does get me. And they they truly didn't even know what the police were. They didn't know how to use a phone. They didn't know how to read. She didn't know what a street was. I don't know. I was standing in the middle of the street. I didn't know to use the sidewalk. Like that's give someone like that a platform. Help them out. Because let's be real, they not only were they abused by their parents, they were abused by the system as well. That's someone who deserves a platform, not Gypsy Rose. And I don't understand why somebody having a baby all of a sudden wipes
They're
them clean
saying
of all
there's
their
no
sins. Like,
sound. Is that better?
oh, can y'all not hear me? Tori Spelling's mom said she had a big ugly nose. Our sound is going in and out.
I could
Misbehaving.
hear you perfectly. That's the part that's
I can
crazy.
hear you perfectly. Yeah, I can hear you good too.
It might be a glitch with YouTube.
You hear us now? Okay. You can't hear me? You can?
Good. I have sound. I have sound. I can hear it good. Okay.
Okay. You have perfect sound? Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure. I wasn't sure if it was me doing something. You keep hearing a word at a time. We must be going in and out. I feel like you were doing that to me before, Nina.
That's crazy because I've been hearing you perfectly the whole time.
But again, the Turpin kids, that's really, in my opinion, who deserves a platform. I would love to see them get the attention that Gypsy Rose is getting. I really feel like they deserve it.
Yeah, they do.
You
They
know?
really do.
Yeah.
Frack is funny. She said TikTok shop.
But yeah, listen,
Uh,
you guys, you want to follow creators, just watch what they do. If their content is consistent, stays the same, it's the same information that you believe, that's how you know who to watch. Be
Miss
careful of
Smiley. Go ahead. Sorry.
what? No, go ahead. We're
Okay.
smiling.
She she said, speaking of which, not to switch the subject, and literally this was the thought that was in my head while I was reading the comments. I think it's going to be a very tough call with Diddy's trial. I think that they can prove the RICO just off of the fact of that he extorted Cassie's mom.
Yeah,
He had the drug mule, and then he also extorted the guy who worked for Intercontinental and paid him money to get rid of the
the
video of
video.
mhm. And then you know, obviously, having all those guns and silencers and all of that, that's like a Rico starter pack. So they really could convict him of everything. It just depends on the jury. And I think they were very strategic with the jury that they picked. There's 8 men, and I think that that could be the hurdle a little bit, slightly. The fact that 8 men, and they picked men that are all over the age of 30, and a lot of them are like in their 50s or older. And I think when you talk about men that are like in that age group, they are like really kind of biased about um like what they consider as consent
Yeah.
sometimes. And that might be kind of a little bit of a hurdle. But if they go based off of the law, like the judge is instructing them to, um, I see a conviction. Mm, it's a tough call to see what I think the transportation. What is it? The transportation for prostitution. I definitely think they have him on that. The
Oh,
RICO, I
yeah.
think it's easily proven, but
As long
it
as they
just depends.
follow.
Yeah,
Yeah. Is it really
I
5 in
think
the
he'll
morning?
be. Yeah,
That's
I
so
think he'll
funny.
be held accountable for something. And I'm gonna say this: whether he does get held accountable in federal court or not, I am telling you right now, there are state charges coming down the pipelines. Like I am pretty sure about that. So it's not really gonna matter because Tupac's um tr- his death, Keefe D was the one who had been saying that Diddy paid him. His trial was supposed to be March 25th of this year. Why did they postpone it till February of
Of
2026
next year.
and
Mhm.
said they had to do more investigation? When he tried to get bond, the proffer came up. Diddy's name was listed 77 times in the proffer. Now all of a sudden they
Yeah,
gotta
that's
do more
funny.
investigation. I'm telling you, the writing is on the wall. He is going to get banged up for that. Um, they tried to redact part of Biggie's death out of the court records of this trial. I feel like there's a reason why they were concerned about that. I think there's gonna be some stuff coming down the pipelines that are really gonna shock people.
Yeah. Yep.
So he'll be held accountable one way or another. I think the feds do have him though. They're not gonna be able to let him walk on everything because I mean,
No way.
the receipts are there.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, Diddy wasn't a good artist. I mean, what song other than Superstar could you really remember that he did?
Yeah, it wasn't even about that.
Man, when Cat Williams said, "You have got to tell Diddy no." That's what I was like, wait.
Mhm.
When Cat Williams said, "You got to tell him no," you can't tell me not every single juror heard that at some point where Cat Williams said, "You have got to tell Diddy no."
Yep. I'm trying to read these
Yes,
comments.
it's crazy. And why somebody asked his attorney when she was getting in the car to leave
Or
if
baby oil.
if she had some baby oil, I said, "Oh wow, these people are wild."
I will never look at baby oil again for the rest of my life.
Man, listen, it's when you just think about that,
No, you just
you
turn
have
something
so
as
many
innocent
questions. Yeah.
Johnson& and Johnson baby oil into something filthy, nasty, disgusting.
50 Cent trolling is the fact that he has made a second career out of trolling Diddy is the most diabolic thing I've seen. Like he trolls him to a level that I feel like he would befriend the ops just to get back at him. Like, I feel like it's like he's a dedicated troll, and I can't do nothing but respect that. But all right, y'all, it's late. I want to at least get a couple of hours sleep before Lonnie gets up, cause y'all, she's gonna troll me.
Yeah, it's early. I gotta go take a shower. I gotta be somewhere in an hour and a half.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You guys
So,
have what a good morning, I guess, because it's like 4 o'clock here. But we
yeah, y'all go
appreciate you
get your
guys
coffee.
staying on here. Cause I at first I was like, I'm just gonna come on here and just clock it real quick and get off. But it turned out to be longer. So you guys have a good morning and we'll see you guys
Yes, thank
soon.
you guys. It was a great conversation, Nina. Thank
Bye.
you.
You too. Bye y'all. Thank you for joining, Ivory.